Hello everyone, I'm Tony Southcott.
And I'm Komette, and welcome to the Gorehounds Playground here in Fort Collins, Colorado. This is Booze and Booze, where we pair different alcoholic drinks with our reviews of horror movies.
And today we're going to be talking about the Autopsy of Jane Doe, which is directed by Andre Overdahl and starring Emile Hirsch as well as Brian Cox.
Now we're going to go over to the Gorehounds kitchen where I'm going to show you this week's drink. Today we are making a drink that I think would be very fitting for somebody who's doing an autopsy really late at night. We're going to make an Irish coffee, and I'm actually going to call it the Jameson Doe autopsy. Okay, that was a bad joke. Okay, anyways, so what you're going to first start off with is a mug, and you're going to do a full shot of Jameson in it. And then we're going to go with a half a shot of Bailey's. This is a really easy one that you can do at home. And it's really yummy, great for really cold days, especially with what's going on in the Midwest. And then you're going to fill the rest with coffee. And that is it. The Autopsy of Jameson Doe.
This is not what I was expecting. Can I see one?
No.
What's that for?
Make sure he's dead.
Sheriff. What happened?
No ID, no fingerprints in the system.
For now, she's a Jane Doe.
What happened to you?
First, they bound her. Then they ripped out her tongue, poisoned her, paralyzed her, forced her to swallow the cloth. What is that?
Well, after watching that movie, I kind of needed that Irish coffee. It's not because it put me to sleep or anything, it's just one of those kind of sobering movies.
It was. It definitely took a turn that I wasn't really expecting for it.
Before we go any further, we might accidentally leak a few spoilers. We're not trying to spoil everything, but there's a lot of really cool, slowly built up and well built up reveals inside of this movie.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend it. It's on Netflix right now.
But I gotta say, I really liked this movie. It was one of those things that I was at home alone and I was scrolling through Netflix trying to find something. And the thumbnail for it looked very captivating, so I put it on and I was completely surprised. I was kind of expecting a not so good horror movie, but it definitely did itself justice.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. Whenever I saw the movie, it was I saw the title. I thought it was going to be one of those $500,000 just cheaply made, just pump it out like you get with a lot of horror. Yeah. And then I was like, that's Brian Cox. He's awesome in a lot of movies. And then I saw just how they actually spent the money to rent the good cameras, and they put a lot of effort into making this a strong movie. It was well written, it was well shot. There's a few parts where the CGI doesn't quite measure up. I feel like that's not perfect. But this is a $6 or $7 million film, and I love that category where it's we're making a very well-produced film, but it's not a huge story where it's too big and lofty. Yeah, mm-hmm. It's what A24 does, where it's in a bottle, you're at one location the whole time, and they just excel at what they're doing in that spot.
Yeah. I don't think the CGI took away from the story at all.
I don't think so. It's just on second watch, I noticed
it
the
just
second watch
is when I noticed it just a bit. Definitely not during the first one. This movie is creepy. It's about a father and son who are doing an autopsy on a girl that's brought in late. And weird stuff starts happening during the autopsy.
Yeah.
And it's creepy. And it had me captivated. I really loved the characters.
Yeah. Anytime you've got a mortician in a horror movie, generally they do the whole Tony Todd in Final Destination where the guy's really creepy. And the thing is, Brian Cox does some things that are kind of joking, but they're endearing you to him. Mm-hmm. He's not a creepy guy. He's just a very competent pathologist who knows what he's doing. They established that at the beginning, that with this body on the table, it's not what it appears to be. It's a subdermal hematoma, and they're showing that he's just very skilled, very good at what he does. And maybe not enjoys his work, but he just does well with it. He kind of looks like he enjoys the work.
Yeah, it's been a family business, I think they say, for a long time.
Multiple generations.
Yeah, and so it's kind of expected that he's been doing this for a really long time. And then I like how they also kept traditions throughout the family, like the bell on the toe, which is kind of, it definitely plays towards the creepiness throughout the rest of the film.
And that's one of those things. There's never like a moment where it's like they hint at something at the beginning that doesn't get used later. It's like Chekhov's bell, basically, like on the corpses. Like, I felt like the girlfriend character, like, she's very minor in this, but she seemed believable, she seemed sweet, she seemed fun. The younger guy, he was a solid character. He's learning from his dad. He's not whiny in any way. He's just trying to get through this. And they're both dealing with the situation as best they can. And what I found funny about it is that, like, in the beginning, the dad is like, we're here to find cause of death, nothing more, nothing less. The rest of the questions are for the investigators. And you see him breaking his own rule there because he's just so interested in, like, what the hell is happening.
They also, I think they played grief very well.
Yeah.
And I got to applaud movies that do that. The father and son recently lost the wife and mother. So they definitely played, I think, towards that, but not in a sense that was overbearing for the rest of the story, I think.
It added reasons for why the son would stay behind to spend a little more time with his dad. And, like, there are moments, like, most of the time the dad is fine. And then there are some moments where you can just see it, like, hit him. And he takes a moment and he contemplates. That's part of Brian Cox's performance. But it also shows a strong script that actually cared about its characters.
Yeah. So I think this is a sleeper movie for sure. And it scared me. I was by myself in my basement. Not so much so that I like didn't sleep for the next night, but it definitely had its moments for sure where I was like,
I turned the lights on. Like,
you did?
I wasn't like super creeped out, but I was like, I'm not watching this fully in the dark, like especially because my house was empty at the time because I was moving. So it's just one of those where it's like there's something weird and I don't know how I feel about this, so I'm just gonna flip the light. And like it wasn't terrifying, but it was creepy and it was fun. It was well shot. The girl that got to play the corpse that just lays there the whole time manages to be creepy the whole time.
Right, and I gotta say, I think they did a very good job with picking her as being the kind of villain because, or the monster, I guess you would say.
Like she's a little bit of everything. It's like she's
victim.
She's victim. She's villain. She's all sorts of things, and it just made for a very complicated like character that doesn't have to say anything or do anything.
And I gotta say also it's really interesting. She's all of these things, right? Victim, monster, vindictive, like all that stuff. But she's also extremely malicious. The end of the movie, I wasn't I wasn't expecting that.
Like the way the movie like it cascades towards the end, which. The thing this movie probably does better than anything is, like, you start leaning in because you want to see, like, all right, well, that's weird. That's interesting. That's cool. And you're just trying to figure out this mystery, and I love how it builds. And the more you see of her and the more you know, her expression doesn't change. But the more malicious she looks every time they bring the camera to her.
Right.
And maybe her expression changes a little bit, but it's very subtle. And she just gets more insidious as the movie goes on, and I think that was the best part for me. I always get it like into mystery type stuff.
Yeah, and it's amazing because she doesn't move.
Yeah.
She doesn't, literally in the entire movie, she doesn't do anything, but she's doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? It's amazing. It's really good.
Some of the little reveals, like one of the more jarring moments is whenever they open her mouth for the first time.
Right.
And to be able to build a mystery inside of a movie that's about an hour and 25 minutes long, that's fully captivating, never feels like the pacing is bad. Like, it just was a solid horror movie that I really enjoyed. There was like, I struggled to find things that I disliked about it. There might have been one particular, like, moment of violence that felt a little out of place. But
yeah, I agree.
Don't know if that really detracted much from it.
No, I think it pushed the two characters forward.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was necessary.
Yeah.
But I think it was...
It was tying up a loose end that they established at the beginning of the movie, so it wasn't out of nowhere either.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so let's say, did we like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Rewatchability.
I would show this to people.
I would show it to people.
Yeah, I did last night because I was at a friend's house and and she hadn't seen it, so I was like, all right, we're going to watch this.
Yeah.
And so, like, got to see her get all creeped out, got to see, like, her just kind of enjoy the mystery of it, too.
Especially because it's on Netflix. Is it a Netflix original? No.
No, it's not a Netflix original. This did have a small theatrical release.
Yeah. So, rewatchability is good. Show it to your friends. Did it scare us?
It was creepy enough.
Creepy enough. Creepy enough to be a good horror movie.
Yeah, like, I feel like as far as having a movie that was scarier, it's better than most that we've seen for Booze and Booze.
Yes. Yes, agreed.
Like, if you took somebody who was a novice in horror movies, they could literally be freaked out, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the setting is there, the action is there, like, everything is just on point. Like, I want to see more of what this director is going to do. Because he did this so competently, like, so just...
And on a budget.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah, like, he did what he could on a budget. Like, I feel like that this guy's probably got a fairer future ahead of him. I have no idea how old he is. Like, I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I haven't seen any of his other movies, so I'm going to be doing a little more research on that later. But, like, I feel like if he can make this movie tell a story so well, that the guy definitely has a future. And I love this. Like, this is kind of like the A24 style movie.
Yeah.
Except a little bit less weird.
Is it by A24?
No, it's not. It's the A24 has made a thing where they make movies for less than $5 million in a bottle. They put one location and just like straight
I like
push it
A24.
out.
Same with, what is it, Birdhouse?
Bird Box?
Birdhouse, the producer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Birdhouse, is it?
It's Bird something.
Bird something.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like-
House.
There's a
They
lot
are
of,
good.
Yeah,
We'll put it whatever it's supposed to be here.
There's a lot of producers right now that are of the impression that you make a movie for under $2 to $3 million or under $5 million, you're gonna make your money back. You tell the best possible story you can, and this is a good example of
It's
that.
a very good example.
And like it's automatically creepy because you're talking about a mortician and his son working on this sort of a mystery.
A strange woman.
Without spoilers, did you like the ending?
I did. But I only like the ending because of the like epilogue.
Ah, yeah. Like that little addition to it made it much better.
Yeah. I think if it would have just ended at the kind of not, I guess it's not the climax, but it is kind of the climax.
That's the climax. You're talking about the denouement, like the falling action.
The falling action. I think if they, a lot of times, I think horror movies would have just, I'm thinking of the typical Jason,
Yeah.
you know, jumping out of the water, you know, and grabbing.
Or like the newer Texas Chainsaw, where it's just like straight up like gut wrenching type finish.
Yeah, like so I'm kind of thinking of like that. If it was just that ending, I wouldn't have liked it so much. But they had an epilogue falling action that I think really tied it well together with the other character in the show. I thought it was a very malicious ending.
Yeah. And like it's exciting to see. I don't know if this is a movie that needs a sequel or will have a sequel. It's a movie that stands well on its own.
Interesting. I didn't even think that there would be, but it totally could.
Yeah, there could be something there.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
If they did do one, it would have to be the same director and
Yeah,
the
they
same
need
writers.
to get the same writers. They need to get everybody and just finish out the story.
Yeah, perfect.
But I think that's everything I have to say
so.
on it. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/humanechoes. Be sure to check out Gorehound's Playground, thegorehoundsplayground.com. And
Let us know what you think of the movie down in the comments below. It's on Netflix, so if you just get a chance to watch it, it's really worth a watch.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
You guys
See you
have a
next
good
time.
week.